Alright guys, we're here to do another video on the AtGames Legends Pinball machine, and today is my first of a few upgrades that I wanted to do on this machine here. And the first one here is from Buy Stuff Arcades, and they made this kit here where you basically get to upgrade the haptics. Now I did a video on the haptics on my previous video that I talked about at games, and I said that the original haptics that came on my machine were not great at all. I could barely feel them. Then I got the arcade control panel here with the buttons and the joystick and stuff, and it did improve the haptics, something that a lot of people didn't talk about, and it did improve the haptics as far as the feeling of the side panels of when you actually hit them. So that part was improved a little bit. It wasn't great, but it was definitely improved from the original. So the Buy Stuff Arcades upgrade kit essentially wants to add more of a haptic feeling to this machine, and I was definitely obviously interested in that. So we're going to go ahead and take a look a little bit of how I have it laid out in the machine. I'm not doing a full walkthrough on how to actually install this because Wagner's Tech Talk already did a great job, and he'll be linked down below. It's the exact video I followed, so I'm not going to sit here and remake his video because he already did a great job. So his video will be linked down below if you guys buy this and like what I'm talking about here and like the experience that I'm going to talk to you guys about, then you can go ahead and watch his video when you buy it, and he'll walk you through exactly how to install it in your machine. But let me give you a quick overview of what is happening in the machine and what I added.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech, going for a brekkie is the gaming tech, gaming techie is the gaming tech, gaming techie.
Alright guys, so before we put this back together here, I did want to give you a quick overview of what exactly we did with this mod kit. I just want to give you my thoughts on this so you guys can get an opinion from me if you guys should do this to your games compared to the stock one, especially for those of us who play the stock tables like me, which is what I'm getting this for. I'm not planning on using this with a PC. So let's go ahead and take a look. So all we did on the inside of here that's actually visible, as you can see there on the corner, there is a Dayton exciter. That's one of the things the kit comes with. And there is the other one on the corner. So we put one Dayton exciter over here and one over here. So that basically replaces the exciters that are in the control panel there that we use. So those are in there in place. And then if you take a look at the bottom here with me, I still got to tidy up some cables. There in the middle is the shaker. So you basically just mount it with the 3 screws that it comes with. Right in the center of your cab there, so I got that mounted there. And then on the side here, as you guys can see, is a little amplifier that I have there sitting on the side. I put it to the left-hand side, just like Wagner's Tech Talk talked about, so I can kind of use that on the side. And yeah, we have that mounted there, and then the 2 exciters obviously route into here. The audio cable from the back of the monitor that gets plugged in is routed into here. All the cables are obviously routed into here. And then this is the final power cable that I got to tidy up to actually plug this into power. But yeah, it was a pretty simple install as far as installing this, especially following his YouTube video and everything. Basically, these 2 exciters that go into stickies. You have the regular speaker cables that go into the speaker mounting thing that I talked about there. Then we have the shaker in the middle, and those 2 speaker wires go into the amp as well. So we got those all tidied up in there. And then on the back of the box there, we just took the box out of there. We used like a harness that they use for the audio cable. And you basically just go in there and plug in that, unplug the speaker wire and plug it into this little adapter that they have, plug in a ground wire by taking 1 screw and putting the screw back in. Again, this is all in his guide, so I don't want to go through all his thing, but it was simple enough. It took me about an hour to an hour and a half to get to this point. So it's more just taking everything out, because you obviously have to take the control panel out. You got to take the sides off and all that stuff. The only thing that was kind of a pain for a minute is the fact that you have to drill a hole in the center. I don't know if you guys can see that there, but you have to drill a hole to get all the wires that are coming from, behind the speaker box and coming through there, and the Dayton exciters going in through there. So you have to drill a hole in the bottom there to kind of go through there. Unless if you guys want to get longer speaker wire on your own and kind of route it all the way to the back and then go underneath and around. But that would be a lot more complicated, and that's not what the kit has from this one here. So you would have to obviously get that on your own. But the speaker wire here is meant to go exactly how we're talking about here. At least that's the best way he found, and that's the best way I found too. So it's just one hole there. It's not that big of a deal to put that hole there. It's on the inside. You go obviously from the back and from underneath, and you put that hole in there, and then you never know about it again. So really, really easy to install though. And so let's go ahead and just finish tidying this up here and put this all back together. And let's see if there's actually a real world difference with the stock one versus this one on the regular tables. All right, guys, so here we are at the main menu. We're going to go ahead and test some of these tables out. Of course, I'm playing the new Natural History pack here on AtGames Legends. And we're going to go ahead and play one of my favorite tables on here. We're going to play the last Ice Age. So we're going to go ahead and just hit A on this, power this on.
Natural history, last Ice Age.
So just right there in the speakers, you can hear that the audio is coming from the front 2 Dayton audio speakers and, of course, the 2 back ones at the same time. So you essentially have 4 speakers now on this machine that are pumping audio. And don't forget, you have the panel that I showed off on the side there, so you can control the tremble and the bass and how loud the Dayton audio is and all that stuff. And just that bump right there feels like you just upgraded the sound easily. I mean, you could feel that the table has more oomph into it with this audio already, just by that starting noise right there. So let's go ahead. See how this is. Yeah, you can feel the shaking right now. It just feels kind of crazy because you can definitely feel the difference. You can hear the difference because the audio is definitely much better. Because again, you have 4 speakers, so obviously it's going to be better. There comes the score there, and you can feel just the whole entire rumble on the table here. Feel the table kind of shake when it hits those bumpers there as well, just like these on the side as well. Definitely better audio quality, definitely louder, and obviously more impactful when it comes to the audio quality on these stock tables here. And the shaking adds a new element because the table obviously never shook anywhere near as much as this with the little haptics that were in here. Now the whole table's kind of shaking depending on what's going on in the game, which is really cool. Go ahead and bounce out of this one and see how another one sounds just so you guys can see. So here we are with the dinosaur one. Nice big bump to start that shakes the whole table again. Like I said, you can feel the difference. Like that T-Rex moaning right now, I can feel the table shake as that moaning is happening, which is a really cool effect. The only thing that I'm still missing, which is part of my second upgrade that I kind of feel like I'm missing as somebody who has a full 4K virtual pinball build over there with all the bells and whistles, is I definitely need the solenoid feedback. Like even though I can hit the flippers and I can feel it a little bit, it doesn't make the impactful clacking on the side that you want a pinball machine to make. You can just kind of hear it on the side, just like a visual pinball game would be, but it's definitely missing that. So that's definitely upgrade number 2 that I'll be doing here, hopefully in the next coming weeks when they come back in stock from where I'm buying it from. But yeah, that's definitely what I need next, is to put some solenoids on the flippers to make those sound like you think they should. But the sound quality on this and the shaking is definitely a better experience than it was before, easily. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that video there. So, overall my impressions are that if you use this with the stock arcade, AtGames Legends machine, which is the intention I'm going into with this, I think it's definitely a worthy upgrade. It's definitely something you'll notice immediately. When I first powered it on, as you guys saw there, and I played my first game, I immediately could tell that the haptics were definitely better than what they were before. Because now with these stock tables here, the sound is going to be coming out of the speakers up here and the Dayton audio speakers over here as well. So you'll hear all the clacking and all the music and all that stuff. They'll be essentially coming from 4 speakers. So the sound quality is definitely way improved. And the actual haptics of what you feel is, of course, going to be improved because you have the shaker down there as well that shakes the table depending on what's happening in there. And you obviously have the controls on the side where you can adjust how much shaking you actually want, how much tremble, how much bass you actually want, how loud you want these Dayton audio speakers to be, and all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely a worthy upgrade even with these stock tables because you get a better sound quality experience, and the bass shaker actually shakes your whole entire table when you actually have that installed on here as well, which is really cool. Now the only negative out of that, you have to turn the accelerometer off in the actual table, so you couldn't use that anymore. I turned it off in the options. You have to turn it off because if you don't turn it off, the shaker motor is going to make that go off and all that kind of stuff. So you don't obviously want that because or else you're going to get the tilting message every time you play a game. So can't do that. So you do have to turn that off with the AtGames Legends Pinball. You know, you have to turn that option off. But for me, I just use the nudge buttons anyway. I'm not really a person that likes to shake this table around that much, or even worse, have your friends come over and do it and roughhouse it and stuff. So I don't do that anyway, to be honest. So it's not really a big loss for me. But you may feel differently. Just know that you're going to have to turn that stuff off. Now, when it comes to playing on the PC, if you connect this over to a PC, I do like the fact that there's an actual option right here, right next to the, it's a little button basically that switches between the two audio inputs, so you don't have to do anything crazy with the wiring. You basically just touch that button and it switches to PC audio, you touch it back and you're back to the audio of the AtGames Legends, which is really cool that that's there. It's really simple. Now, I don't have any current plans to put a PC in here, but I do have experience with what this would do if you use it in Visual Pinball, because I have a similar setup over there on my Visual Pinball 4K setup in the other room. And what I noticed there is that what you guys can expect if you connect this to Visual Pinball. So on the AtGames Legends stock tables, you do have the better sound quality and all that stuff and the better haptics, but the sound isn't being separated like it would be in Visual Pinball. In Visual Pinball, you would have the music coming out of the back box speakers, and then you would have all the like the flipper noises and all the clacking around the table and all that kind of stuff coming from the speakers of the Dayton Audio in the front. So it's separating the audio, so you'll just feel more and hear more because things are being separated out, essentially like surround sound for visual Pinball. And it makes the experience even better. So if you really like it on the AtGames Legends regular tables, you're definitely going to love it because it takes it that next level. It's definitely a better experience connecting a PC to this. But I have no plans to connect the PC to this, but if you guys are thinking about it, definitely even better than what I'm talking about now is connecting this to a PC. But overall, I'm really happy with the kit. It's going to be a great experience for those guys who want this on PC and want a cheap upgrade to be, or an easy upgrade and easy to install and all that kind of stuff, following the guide and the video that's down linked below. If you guys want to do it that way, you think you guys will have a really fun time playing on Visual Pinball on PC. Or if you're like me and you just have these stock tables and you just want to play the tables that are kind of exclusive to this machine, and that's why you kind of bought it, which is where I'm at right now, I still think it's a worthy upgrade. Obviously, it depends on where you fall in line. Do you care about the sound quality being better because you'll have 4 speakers instead of 2? I do, and it definitely makes it better. Do you want to have a shaker underneath so the table shakes and stuff like that when you're hitting different things and clocking on things? I do, so I think it's a worthy upgrade. But again, it will be a better experience on the PC for sure. Now, there is something still missing on this machine that I'm waiting for. Again, this is one of my first out of 3 upgrades I want to do. My second upgrade is going to be a graphics overhaul kit, which I'll talk about here, which I'll talk about in a future video. And then I also want to add some solenoids on the side, because even though I can hear the flippers when I hit the buttons, I can hear them coming from all the speakers like you always could. It's nothing like feeling real solenoids, because I reel solenoids on my other machine. So I definitely want to add that kit onto here, and then I'll have everything going on. I'll have the shaker, I'll have the solenoids, and I'll have the Dayton Audio speakers. Everything will be kind of really good in singing on these stock tables. And the good thing is if you add solenoids, you don't have to worry about anything being incorporated on the table, because it's just connecting to the flipper button. You just hit it and it will make that noise no matter what is going on the screen. So it makes it really easy to incorporate and not have to worry about specific compatibility in the games. So that's it, guys. This is a great kit from Buy Stuff Arcades. A really easy kit to put together. Everything comes in a bundle, and you can get it on their website. You can see that link down below as well. Really, really happy with the kit. If you guys have any questions about what you guys heard me talk about in this video, as always, leave it down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Until next time.